Welcome back to another episode of Dotland Podcast. I'm your host, DJ Scotty 2 Dotty, and today we got some more videos to react to. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe to the Dotland Podcast. I know I'm not as consistent as I would like to be right now. This is where we at right now, but it's not gonna always be like this. Eventually, I will be able to upload weekly and then daily. Went from doing weekly to at least every other week type shit, or at least once a month, whenever my schedule permits. But I know what God is doing for me and for this platform, and I would speak that into existence for me to be able to upload and bring you guys content as frequently and as periodically as possible, and not just sporadically. But until such time, we gonna do what God permits and what God's will allow for this platform. So you guys, you know, unwind, take a load off, and just sit back and have fun on today's episodes, because that's what these reaction episodes are all about. And if you're new to the channel, again, like, share, subscribe. But also, as I always do with my reaction videos, what I do, I share my screen to my notes on my phone, and we go through the videos that I have saved, and we laugh, we joke, we um, reflect on the video. So your run the mill, you know, um, reaction per se, but you got DJ Scotty Two Dotty's comic relief. That's the difference. So let's get right into it. Share my screen. Yeah. All right. Let's get it. Move me out the way. All right. Let's get it.
Who you?
Man, bro, can you help me out, gang, bro? I just got robbed and shit by my nigga, bro. I don't even stay on the West, bro. I'm just trying to see if anybody on the street woke, bro.
You got it wrong though, bro. Pull before I let them pits out, baby. Pull on up out of here before I grab hammers and everything, man. Go ahead on, man.
Damn, gang.
You got the wrong house, man. Ain't nothing but bullets up in here. Read the door sign. All bullets. Ain't nothing in here but bullets.
A nigga just robbed me, gang. I ain't even on no weird shit, bro.
See, I'm about to rob you.
That's gonna get us.
Better try again, folks. That shit tragic, folks.
Motherfuckers, nah, but hey, shit. I mean, I don't blame him if cause you never know what a motherfucker's on. So I don't blame him one bit. Shit. So yeah, fuck on, gang, for real. Like, so cause shit, the main thing is to protect your fortress. So I don't blame him. But if he was really and just got robbed and this, that, and third, shit, I know a lot of niggas don't like to call the police or get like 12 involved, which okay, cool, but either you take that L or you call the police. Shit, I don't know what else to like do for you, or go handle like your business. So but yeah, that's shit, gang. Hey, all right, moving on to the next one.
Breaking news right now, the Supreme Court will require the Trump administration to facilitate the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. That's the Maryland man who was sent to El Salvador by mistake, despite having protected legal status, preventing his deportation to El Salvador, where he escaped political violence back in 2011. Abrego Garcia was sent last month to that country's notorious mega prison, following what the government said was an administrative error. Our Devin Dwyer joins us now with more on all of this. Devin, what is the Supreme Court exactly ordering the Trump administration to do to remedy this?
Phil, this was a unanimous decision by the Supreme Court upholding a lower court order that it facilitate the return of Mr. Garcia. As you said, he was wrongly sent to El Salvador, to that prison that we've heard so much about with a history of human rights abuses. He was detained in this country. He is an alleged gang member. He denies those affiliations. Those facts aren't in dispute. But an immigration court here in the United States had explicitly said he was not to be returned to El Salvador for fears of threats to his life. That, of course, has now happened, and the Supreme Court, in no uncertain terms, Phil, said that action was illegal on the part of the Trump administration, and that while it shows deference to the administration in its ability and timing to bring him back, it does need to be done in compliance with due process of law, Phil, and that's a very significant development tonight.
You talk about law, Devin. I'm wondering if there's any chance of more legal back and forth on this issue, or will this effectively start the process of bringing Abrego Garcia home?
Well, we'll have to see how the Trump administration responds. They had said they didn't have the power to return him. The Supreme Court apparently wasn't having any of that. They said that the district court order was proper, that this can be done. They expect the government to comply and correct its mistakes. So we'll see if there's further litigation here. We do know his family, his attorneys have said they expect him to come back to the United States. Remember, he is not going to be just let loose in the United States. This is someone that was under a withholding order. But again, this was about righting a wrong, a legal wrong, a moral wrong, and standing up for due process of law. And tonight, Phil, the Supreme Court unanimously did just that. Phil.
Devin Dwyer on the breaking news for us from the Supreme Court. Devin.
Hey, man, I'm suing like a motherfucker, boy. Shit, he should be getting compensated for pain and suffering, and yeah, he should be getting the bag off of that era. I feel like just how this country was, made, shaped, and formed off of prejudice, racism, and just throwing motherfuckers who have little or no affiliation, but just off of their ethnicity into like jail or deporting them back to their native land or this and third. It's fucked up. It's fucked up across the board that people are that deplorable, that demonic, but God has his way of making it right. So I pray for that gentleman who's enduring this unimaginable things, because when people have power, they tend to abuse it. And in that case, they're indulging on power. And God put some on my spirit today. You have as much power as you do in your pants pocket. Kind of like a weird analogy, but something in my spirit kind of correlated to that. Because if you think about it, if you put your wallet, your keys, your phone, most of your pocket space is gone. But we keep adding things and keep trying to push strangleholds and push boundaries beyond its limits. So think of the pockets as boundaries and limits. And that's how much power you have with anything. But people push the boundaries and try to beg to differ in this and third. But I pray that that gentleman return back home to his family and that he's able to get compensated for pain and suffering. So, but we shall see what happens. All right, next video.
Thank you. Breaking.
The president's latest statement regarding his America First trade plan. As you all know, the president just put out a statement announcing an additional tariff on China. The tariff on China will now go up to 125% because China imprudently decided to retaliate against the United States. And as I said at the podium yesterday, when you punch at the United States of America, President Trump is going to punch back harder. In that same vein, we have had more than 75 countries from around the world reach out to President Trump and his team here at the White House to negotiate better trade deals for the American worker. We have been overwhelmed with the amount of requests from countries around the world. I'll let the Secretary speak to that. We will continue with the tailor-made negotiations that I spoke about yesterday. In the meantime, there will be a 90-day pause on the reciprocal tariffs as these negotiations are ongoing, and the tariff level will be brought down to a universal 10% tariff. The Secretary here has been a huge part of the President's trade team, of course, and will continue to lead these negotiations moving forward to look out for the American worker, which is always President Trump's goal. So I'll kick it over to our great Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent.
Good, thank you. And we saw the successful negotiating strategy that President Trump implemented a week ago today. It has brought more than 75 countries forward to negotiate. It took great courage for him to stay the course until this moment. And what we have ended up with here, as I told everyone a week ago, they're in this very spot, do not retaliate and you will be rewarded. So every country in the world who wants to come and negotiate, we are willing to hear you. We're going to go down to a 10% baseline tariff for them, and China will be raised to 125 due to their insistence on escalation.
The president's.
All right, so let me just debunk everything that the motherfuckers just said, because this is what I'm speaking to as far as this demonic energy. And that speaks to what I just said as far as you just got enough power as you do pants pocket. This man just said, whoever the fuck he is, the secretary of go fuck yourself. I don't have any distinguished honor for anybody in that cabinet or just any government official, especially if I don't know you. If I know you, that's different. I don't know these people, and I can just go off of their character and their demeanor and what they are allowing people to dictate them to carry out. You're saying that if you don't retaliate, you will be rewarded. I can't really express how demonic that sounds. That's very blasphemy. That's saying I am subservient to anything that you can think of. And as far as this like we hold the power to dictate your livelihood, getting your goods into this country that you specialize your economy on, because we owe owing is a very elementary word for the debt that we are in. We don't we have a floating economy. It's just like things are just structured in a way that it just flows in a sense in which like shit just kind of happens. It's very hazardly. Like there is no real economy, because how can something be economically structured and stable if you are in debt to the point to where you don't own nothing? Like how can you owe trillions upon trillions upon trillions upon trillions to hundreds of countries and say you have say you have an economy? That's like saying I have negative $1 million, but I have a lot of money in like my savings account. That don't make sense. That does not make sense. I could be like, yeah, like I'm financially stable in my account, negative $1 million. That's but I'm still able to get food. I'm still able to, because I have a resource that either weaponry or oil. I have a resource that is can offset the debt that I have. I have a tool for the trade per se. So I don't feel like this shit is not what the fuck it is. It's bullying. It's global bullying. And that's a strategy that Trump has been doing since he's been in business, and he runs the country like a business. So, and these are his handlers. These are his little puppets, his little lap dogs that, they can piss in their face and they say, "Ooh, we love this rain. we love this rain. This is like a spring shower. Oh my goodness. Like, because they have no identity. Their identity is whatever he say, like whatever he called them to be, as that's what they will could be. Is very, very, very demonic. And in these times, you have to stay in your word. You have to stay aware of what's really real, what's really truth. Your heart, like lead and listen with your heart. Don't these like your eyes and like your ears. These are flesh. This is flesh. This like you can go deaf, you can go blind, but your heart and your spirit, that transcends all understanding. That's connected to a higher power. So don't really stress yourself out about this shit, because people are carnal. People live of a certain ilk of they're just gonna just make it do what it do as long as they're at its being. So don't really hang your head low and be like, oh man, this is you know, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, and watch God use this for his advantage. All this is gonna make sense in the end, trust me. So it's fucked up. It's a very fucked up situation. That this is happening, and this is nothing but bullying, global bullying. So stay prayed up, stay in the word, stay faithful to the Most High. All right, let's move on to the next video.
Latest statement regarding
a 19-year-old out to buy his grandfather some socks came across a bag with $135,000 just sitting near a Wells Fargo ATM in Albuquerque. Jose Nunez Romanes told CBS affiliate KRQE he called the number on the ATM, then police, because he knew trying to keep the money meant he would have to deal with mom.
Back of my head, I was just thinking about my parents, especially my mom. What would she would do if I came home with the money, and what she would do with her chancla to hit me.
It turns out the Wells Fargo subcontractor whose job it is to fill the ATM left the cash there by accident. The mayor and police chief recognized Nunez for doing the right thing when no one was looking and invited him to apply as a public safety officer while still in school. Nunez also got a $500 check from New Mexico energy provider PNM, a gift card, and $500 cash from a local restaurant, University of New Mexico Lobos football season tickets, and a signed football from former Bears linebacker Brian Urlacher. A 19-year-old out to buy his grandfather.
Hey, man, hey, I salute that young man for doing the right thing and not being tempted by his flesh and not being tempted by the lure of that $135,000. But let me say this. Whoever job that was to fill that ATM, bro, you're capping. Like talking about, oh yeah, I just forgot it. Yeah, you're gonna forget that you employed too. For real, since we just forgetting shit. You're gonna forget your badge, you're gonna forget your route, you're gonna forget all that shit, because you no longer have a job here. Cause how the fuck, like, that don't even make sense. Like, yeah, yeah, like I just left 100 grand laying around. Like, you don't like that's just something that you just don't forget, bro. Like, how? Like, what? So, but that young man will, and he has been blessed though. Gave him season tickets to his favorite sports team, or um, a sporting team whole season. That's dope. He got five $100 from the light company. I'm not sure if that's just $500 credited to like his family's light bill, or they actually cut him like a check, but from them, and then he got $500 extra from restaurant. I mean, it's not 100 grand. It's not. And then he got the football from Brian Urlacher. It's not 100 grand. It's not. However, he was blessed for doing the right thing. So that's the moral of this story. You will be blessed for doing the right thing. So I mean, again, it's not 100K, but he did the right thing, and that's what really matters. So let's go to the next video.
Father some socks came across a bag with 100.
Oh no, that's the same video. All right, it's this one.
I love them motherfuckers. I didn't even know I liked big girls. I was in McDonald's one time. Dropped my french fries, big bitch caught them in midair. I ain't like this caught him, looked at me, say, nigga, there's no reason to waste good food. I say, God damn. I took that motherfucker home. She was $275 for no fucking reason at all. Big bitch just slid. She just slid in the doorway. Just slid. You know, came in the house. She said, I'm gonna go get on your bed. I got scared. I said, no, sir. You lay your ass on the floor. You know what something I ain't gonna give, you know. That big motherfucker laid down, titties fell between her armpits. Looked me dead in my eye, I say, nigga, get up there. Get up there. I said, shit, I ain't no fucking punk. I went on, got up on her. I climbed up on that big motherfucker. You know, looked off the side. I've never fucked from this high up here. Feet dangling all off this big bitch. I say, look, I can't fuck you from up here. But if you turn over, I'll put your big ass to sleep. That big motherfucker said, oh man, she turned that thing over, you know, she turned over, you know. She ain't turned over right away, you know. Had to get a little momentum behind that motherfucker. And turned that ass over and squished up, got in a doggy style position, looked like a small Volkswagen. I said, Lord, I'm about to fuck a full-size vehicle in my house. Clicked the lights, I got my stuff ready, and walked up, it was dark. I eased up on it, felt a little wet crease. I said, yes, sir, there it is. There it is. Didn't hesitate, you gotta go at a big girl. I just pulled it to me. Oh, nigga, I went to work, I was just tearing that ass up. Lost 5 pounds fucking with this big girl. Hour later, I'm proud of myself. She said, Ted, you are a beast, nigga, you are a beast. But mama ready now, so you gonna have to go and put that dick in, and I'm ready. Man, you crazy as a motherfucker. I lost 15 pounds fucking with you, big girl. You lost a motherfucker, man. I clicked the light on, turn around, come to find out I have stuck my dick in her side. Ain't nobody tell me big girl sweat in the rib cage. I have been fucking her in the ribs for 45 minutes. And I'm here to tell you them the best ribs I have ever had. I love them.
Hey, man, for a motherfucker like me, who is in the big back business, you know, love big women, have been dating big women for my whole career of being, you know, romantically involved. So that shit is really funny to me. His ass talking about, I ain't never fucked from this high. I have had moments like that, but like, damn, have to saddle up in that motherfucker, like, damn, like, but hey, shit, when you dealing with 250 plus shit, hey, you gon', man, yeah, talking about, I finna fuck a full-size vehicle in my house. Hey, he fried for that shit. So about some full-size vehicle. It be like that, but shit, hey, I'm here to tell you, if you ever fucked a big girl, you have had your shit tenderized. Like, I'm talking about marinated. And this man, just my goodness, they should be falling off the bone, Bucko. You understand me? For real, man. Like, so, shout out to the BBWs, man. For real, y'all are blessed, you know, and I'm happy to be blessed and married to the greatest BBW, you know. So shout out Miss Dawson. I love you, baby. For real. All right, let's move on to the next video. I think we're right here. Oh yeah.
If you're black and you want to talk shit, all you do is you look at somebody, you say exactly what they look like, and then at the end of that you go, looking ass. It's so easy, man. It's simple as pie. Young sees candy lady looking ass. Oh, Moby looking ass, the musician. Does his own taxes looking ass. It's so easy. It's happened to me too, bro. I had a black dude, he walked right past me and he goes, you fucking orchestra conductor looking ass. You got the joke? I didn't even get the joke. Bro, I didn't get that joke till about 8 hours later. Dog, 8 hours later, I'm brushing my teeth. I'm in the mirror about to go to bed. I said, he's good. This guy's good. I look like every orchestra can. You know who I'm talking about. That guy, biggest bullshit job in the history of jobs. How do we let that guy do that? Band's been playing their instrument for 30 years. 30 years the guy's been playing his instrument. You're telling me if we didn't have this guy, the The violin guy would be like, I don't know what to do. If you're black and you want to talk
No,
shit,
hey, folks is not lying. Folks is not lying whatsoever, bro. Like literally just adding looking ass or dumb ass or lad like that. Yeah. He's 1,000% right. You would get at least one or two chuckles minimum. Like for real, because it's all about delivery. It's all about style and how you say that shit. Like and yeah, like that shit is funny. That shit is very funny. Buddy ass funny as fuck. I just kind of stumbled across his Facebook page. He's real like funny for real. So go and check out him for real. He funny than the motherfucker. All right.
Biden team, or not handling it, we should say, to a certain extent. This time, it involves our intelligence community. Ken, what have you learned, sir? Oh, shit. Fuck. Okay. Think we lost Ken for a second. We'll try to get him.
Hey, that shit fried as hell. Like, imagine that. Like, you old MSNBC get knocked down. Like, what the fuck? That's crazy, dog. Like, I already know that was a fake video, but that shit funny as hell. To like, just like think of that for like a second. Like, that shit wild as fuck for real. Oh shit. Hey, Shirty ass was three ball corner pocket type shit for real. That shit funny than a motherfucker for real, for real. All right, next video. Hold on, all right, so it's this
36 counter naked waggle at 7, X quarter on 1. Flip right double, X jet. 36 counter naked waggle at 7, X quarter on.
Nah, for real. That's definitely how like it be like. Motherfuckers got to send me like a screenshot of what to say for real. Text it to me, send me a screenshot of the TikTok or the Pinterest or where the fuck you got that from. Cause trying to just say, hey, give me a double nipple, extra milk with liquid cold foam and a dash of honey cinnamon with a cherry on top. They sell that here? Like you feel like what? Like you just be like real just perplexed by that shit. Like what nigga? Like you want what again? Like you feel me? Like so yeah, as long as a motherfucker screenshot or like text it to me, I say whatever you want. Okay, but thinking like I'm finna just go in and just cause it's not like Starbucks got or like they do have like a drink menu type shit, but like motherfuckers be like freestyling the fuck out of like all they drink menus. If you just want a caramel frappe, they got a caramel frappe with um caramel from Columbia caramel, liquid devil, devil spit cold foam. Like what nigga? Like what? Like why there's so many variations of this shit? I just want a caramel frappe, my nigga. Like I don't want all of this motherfucking like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory ass like selection of this shit. Like that shit is crazy. Like, but I mean, man, hey, shit, it's strength in numbers, I guess. Shit, but yeah, that shit is factual. The wife definitely be doing shit like that. But yeah, all right, let's get into the last video. Well, no, we got two more videos. Hold on. So second to last video.
Name's Christian. I'm here to help. Just let me.
Hold on.
It's all when I see this shit. Look. Hi, my name's Christian. I'm here to help. Just let me know. Hello, I am happy to be here, and so is my husband. Hello, I am her husband, and I am not happy to be here at all. Thank you very much. Look at her. Hello, if you need any help, I can help you. Look, just happy to be here, dude. Just let me know if you need anything, man. Man, I just got out. Fuck. That's all I could do.
We all got that one employee. Like I'm that employee. How like the dude is, I am that employee for real, for real. Like that's me in a nutshell, for real. Cause I play all day, even with my stutter, even with all my flaws and all. I have God bless me with a very comic relief spirit and a very like just noti- noticeable like perspective about me. So um yeah, like I am that employee that would flame the fuck out you. Like if your picture is on a wall or I noticed something, but like I don't be trying to bully or chastise or like, just judge a motherfucker. But like I definitely do be in my head flaming the fuck out of people. Even like myself, like I got plenty of stories to like really talk about myself with. So I'm no angel here. Like I'm not short of I'm not against approach and the motherfuckers flaming my ass, but I don't give people just a variety of shit to talk about as far as just like I carry myself like a dickhead. Because people who are dickheads and not kind, yeah, you're easy targets now. For real, you're even easier to talk about because people always form their own perspective and a opinion of you when you meet them. So it's just like you already got insults and jokes boiling up in like your head to begin with. But I am definitely that employee though, for real, for real. That shit funny as hell. But last video up today, let's get into it.
Y'all, the story of Jesus getting betrayed just got a little more interesting. I honestly thought I knew all there was to know about this story, but come to find out, there's something I've been missing this whole time. So whoever has ears, please listen to this. So in Matthew chapter 26, the plot to kill Jesus has officially started. Now knowing this, Judas, who was one of Jesus' 12 disciples, went to the chief priests and asked him, "What are you willing to give me if I deliver Jesus to you?" Now watch this. The Bible says they answered him by counting out 30 pieces of silver. During this time, that was equivalent to one slave. Now don't miss this, because in theory, what Judas was doing here was selling his salvation. So that means when he looked at the Lord, he didn't see a savior, he saw a slave. And you probably oohing and eyeing right now, but Judas ain't alone, because at some point you viewed him the same way. It's the lifestyle of, God, what can you do for me? It's when you think God was created to serve you, not realizing you were created to serve God. Now pay attention to this word. The text says, and from then on, he watched for an opportunity to hand him over. Why should that excite you? Because if you remember, when the devil had finished tempting Jesus in the wilderness, it says he left until an opportune time. And in Matthew 26, it tells us that Satan entered Judas. So what does that mean? That means if the devil can't get to you himself, he gonna always find somebody that can. That's why you gotta be careful who you surround yourself with, because the devil won't always show up looking like the devil. Sometimes the devil will show up looking like a disciple. And sometimes the person you least expect to hurt you may be the reason you experience the most pain. Now this is where it gets a little interesting, because the Bible says Judas established a signal with the army that was following him. He said, "The one I kiss is the man. Arrest him." Now, I'm not the smartest man in the world. Ain't never claimed to be. But I do have a question. Because if these people claim to want Jesus so bad, why didn't they take the time to get to know him for themselves? Wouldn't that make sense since they the ones who said they wanted him? Absolutely. But let me show you where you are in this story, because you've done the same thing. These people that we so quick to judge can actually represent us. It shows us how we rely on someone else's relationship with God to bring us closer to him. Let me make it plain. They were relying on Judas to give them the word because they were unwilling to get to know the word for themselves. It's what one would call a vampire Christian. You want the blood of Jesus, but at the same time, you want to continue to live in darkness. It's showing us what being a part-time follower actually looks like. At this time, Peter, James, and John were in the garden because they rocked with Jesus. But the only reason Judas was seeking the Lord was because it was something in it for him. I wish I had more time, but I'm gonna leave you with this. Before you go talking about Judas and how he betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver, you need to remind yourself that you do it all the time for free. Y'all, the story of Jesus.
That's a very prophetic word. And I remember a few yeah, it was like literally like a few like just hit like a few months ago. I had watched Story of the 12 Disciples. It was like a AI generated video that I watched about the 12 disciples, and remember watching either a real or Bishop Bronner. Shout out Bishop Bronner down there in Atlanta. Believe it was him who said that Peter had a bad day because he denounced God 3 times. Said, "I do not know this man. I don't know who he is. I'm not affiliated with him." But Judas was the one who betrayed him ultimately because he had a bad heart. And what I feel that um, this gentleman, this follower of Christ, was saying was pretty much that we are self-serving. You know, we are self-serving. Nothing good is within the flesh. That's written. I can't give you the exact scripture, but that is written. I do know that that is a scripture that nothing good comes from the flesh at all. Nothing. Because our will, we try to make that subservient to what God will is over our life. And I feel like God has put it on my heart these past few weeks, and his presence of peace has been so dominant over like my life that I had to share that video because we want to get to a place and space to where, like he said, where we're trying to be self-serving and ask God to serve us and not us serve him and not submit to his will. God has his own way of getting your attention. And one of his last things he will do is give you a revelation of a very firm disciplinary Father God um, discipline slash for revelation, and that would be somewhere it incapacitates you either mentally, physically, spiritually, or emotionally, and depending on your strength and your faith, that could really derail you because you're in the self-serving mentality, just like Judas, where you're gonna give me just 30 pieces. I bet because you feel like you're getting something out of what you're doing, and in the grand scheme of things, in the totality of it, like like the man just said, you're trading in your salvation. You trading, and we don't always necessarily do it at the level of Judas. We're trading in your salvation. We trade in our peace. We trade in our 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 worth, our craft for just what, like anything ministry. Just like those people working in Trump administration, they are selling um their dignity for dollars. They're selling their dignity for notoriety, saying that, oh yeah, you was on Trump cabinet, right? Oh yeah, you was woo woo. Yeah, yeah, like they're Judas, they're doing that. And um I know the gentleman said that people do it all the time for like free. And it's one it like I want to say this about um intentionality and about context in which you do things. Like I just said, Peter had a bad day. He loved God. He did. He was in the crucified because of his belief. He laid down his life for the faith, for his walk. So he had a bad day. He had a bad day where he denounced God, and when God was resurrected, um, he forgave him for what he did. But Judas, his heart, he was just jealous hearted. He was very demonic. And God knew that. And I feel like all the 12 disciples represent humanity in some way. All of their walks were different, but God still said, "Come and walk with me." You know what I'm saying? So like it's just like despite of, because God knows your heart. He knows your intent and in your context in which you do things. So with that being said, it's just like, don't be a Judas in a sense in which, whether I had my rugged, deplorable, self-serving, narcissistic heart behind this business, or I had that behind my relationship or behind my marriage. Context is key with everything that you do. If you're doing something and you're leading with your heart, and the intent is to do X, Y, Z, and that and is of good faith, and is of God, and you and it correlates with God's will, and God has signed off on it, and you have meditated on it, and you have done your research, by all means, because at the end of the day, only God can judge us. But even with Judas, his heart was so bad that he ended up committing suicide, because he felt so bad about having a bad heart and about his bad decision that he chose to to do. So that speaks to the root of who Judas was. You know, when you know who you are, because you wake up every day as you. You know, if you wake up as something different, you probably wouldn't know, because you would have been reincarnated or transitioned to something, to um a higher power. So you wouldn't even have any recollection of what's going on until it's time to know what's going on. So in the sense of, you wake up every day as yourself. You know your intent. You know the how legitimate and how sincere your words can be, and where it comes from. It comes from a place of love, and it's taken as a place, and it's taken in the sense of you're trying to speak down on me and this and third. You can hear, well, you can hear with your heart what that person's saying, versus you're being nasty with their responding to something that you intent. With the pureness of your heart, you start listening with your heart versus listening to with like your ears. And even I still struggle with that, because I know I'm not perfect, but it's some people, and especially people in positions of employment, people in positions of uh, political seats and whatever, people who hold these carnal, man-made positions that garner these pocket powers, and they just feel so, like powerful, and we are made weak by our strength, and we are made strong by our weaknesses. So it's just, yeah, nah, like you can't do that. So look over your heart, know your intentions in which you do things, and um intentionality, and the context of your heart is very key, because you don't want to sell yourself short, or sell your salvation, sell your peace, sell your craft for something that's worthless. 30 pieces of silver for the Most High. Wow. Wait, what can 30 pieces of silver buy in the kingdom? Not nothing. It's a mineral. It's a mineral. It's of the earth. Hmm? Right? Like, nah, but um, yeah, I hope something was said on today that gave you guys some joy, some happiness. I know at the end I started preaching, but that's okay. Like, I love that this podcast is a platform to showcase my everything, showcase my character. Yes, I cuss. Yes, I do things that's probably not acceptable to certain people. But I know my walk, that I'm walking with God. I know God knows my heart, and um millions and billions of tongues has been spoken upon people who have been misinterpreted because of something that they do, something that they say. But when it's the midnight hour, when all the judgment and all the doors close, and it's just you and God, when it's just that wilderness, when it's just that isolation, when it's just you and Him, He knows your heart. He speaks to you in a way that only you know, and that you can comprehend. So I love what I do. I love this platform, and I, hope that you guys got something from this video and that these reactions made you laugh, made you cheerful, made you joyful, uplifted your spirit in any way. But um, good news, good news. I am the official Thursday night DJ at Brothers, um, here in South Bend, Indiana. So if you're ever in the South Bend, Indiana area, you want to check out a very good mix, please stop by on a Thursday night from the hours of about 10:30 to about 2 in the morning, to check out my set, man. It's always love. It's always a great vibe. It's always fun. And I do want to say this for those who um, are curious about certain things with my DJ set. I know people love to request songs. I know people love to get their groove going and their songs played and their vibe called and this and the third, right? $5 per song. $5 per song. If you really want your song played, it's $5, right? Unless it's something. Here's the caveat and here's the loophole. So far, it's only two loopholes, and throughout my journey with being a DJ, maybe I can add other loopholes. But there's two loopholes around this. If you are an up and coming artist, I don't care if you're from Alaska or from the North Pole or wherever. If you're an upcoming artist, you have videos on YouTube that I can download and put it into my software. I will play your song for free because I want you to hear your like yourself in a public setting, and I just love that because it's just I'm a recording artist as well, and I know how that feels to want your song to be out and people to hear, and it's such a good feeling of this, man. Like like it's just great. So if you are a recording artist from anywhere, up, up and coming, and you want your music played, come to Brothers. Come to Brothers on a Thursday night. DJ Sky Kudati, he got you. He got you. Free of charge. If you want to bless the cash out, by all means. But I don't do stuff like that expecting payment. Now, that's one way you can get your song played. Two, if you request a song in the midst of, okay, the crowd has switched from heavy white women to heavy black women or a mixture, and you say, hey, play, can you play this and the third? And like, can you play Lotto? Can you play Megan in this? Okay, cool. Okay. Like, cause like maybe my man was gonna go there regardless. Okay, cool, bet. But if you come up to me and I'm pre-setting up my mix, or I'm pre-setting like my equipment up and this and that, there, you asking for songs, it's $5. It's $5. You know, I'm nice enough to just be able to just play people's songs out of the kindness of my heart. I have done that, but moving forward, y'all, it's $5 a song. It's $5 a song. I can't, because if you think about it, I have to download the song, and while I'm downloading the songs are still playing. I cannot have dead time between my mix. I can't just have it go silent unless I'm transitioning to another song. I can't just I'm downloading and I'm talking. Yeah, you said who? Taylor's what? Like like cause like no, I can't do that. So if you want your song played, cash at me, and then we can make it happen from there. So that's my disclaimer. But yeah, until next time, y'all. This is DJ Sky 2 of the Dotted Line Podcast signing off. Peace.